Welcome to Part 5 of Competency 11. In this video, we will answer questions involving calculus and volume with the shell method. In this video, we will use the formulas for the shell method. First, wrapping around the x-axis as well as wrapping around the y-axis. Define Q as the region bounded by the right on the right by the graph of g of y equals 2 square root of y, and on the left by the y-axis for y in the interval of 0 to 4. Using the shell method, find the volume of the solid of revolution formed by revolving Q about the x-axis. What does that mean? That means that if you think about it, we're taking this region right here, created by the y-axis from 0 to 4, and that curve given to us, and then here it is. I want to draw it in so you could see it, and we're going about the x-axis here, okay? All right, now, that being said, they asked for the shell method, okay? So what do we need? Okay, and I'm only going to write this out once in the video, and then from here on out, we're just going to put it in the calculator. This is what we need, okay? With some altering. How are we going to alter this? One, everything here is in terms of pi. I'm not going to type in pi. I'm going to leave him out because this is all multiplication. It is safe to do that. I want the coefficient in front. Also, I'm going to say that y equals x for calculator purposes only. Okay? All right. Now, be forewarned, if you are watching this video to complete homework, don't leave out pi. It'll be a disaster, okay? All right, so let's do this. Okay, I'm going to type in my 2, okay? Now, alpha window, I need number 4, and I'm going from 0 to 4. I'm going to arrow over. And remember, y equals x here, so I need x and more parentheses. Now, I have 2 second square root x again, arrow over, close my parentheses again. And then, oops, arrow back in the box. You need to be in the box and put your x again. Okay, and you're telling the calculator what to do. Press enter. There you go. We have something valid. But which one of these does it match? You could quickly go down the line and divide each of those out. However, please be warned that there's a little bit of rounding with integration. Okay, you get close to it. So for this one, I already know that we need 51.2. Enter that in the calculator. Do math. Number one fraction's already highlighted. And that's our fraction. So C is our option. Now, double check, and you may like this better. Just say 66 divided by 5. Not it. 128 divided by 5. Not it. 198 divided by 5. Not going to work. Okay. And we could also check the one that we chose. 256 divided by 5. Enter. It's it. Okay. And you can see that there was an issue of rounding when you do that. Okay. All right. So let's go to number 2. All right. Define R as a region bounded above by the graph of g of y equals 1 over x. Okay. So what they have done is they've already put it in the form that you need. Okay. And below, okay, we bounded above by g of y over x and below by x-axis, the x-axis over the interval. There's our interval Find the volume of the solid of revolution formed by R around the y-axis. Now, again, we are using the shell method in this video, okay? The next video will be the disc or slash washer, okay? So what do we need? We need our 2 on the outside, so type in your 2. Then you need alpha window, number 4, and we know our interval is 1, go up to 3, and go over, okay? Now, we need, remember, for purposes, okay, for purposes of the calculator, y equals x, okay? Now, if you've jotted this down, remember that, all right? So we need to put in x, and you're going to notice something, okay? And I have a parentheses, alpha y equals, to get my fraction, 1 over x. Yes, that actually equals 1. And I'm going to close my parentheses, go over here, put in my x, press enter, and yes, the value is 4. Okay? All right, let's move on to number 3. Number 3, define R as a region bounded by the graph of g of y equals 4 minus x and below by the x-axis. Using the shell method, find the volume of revolution formed by revolving R around the y-axis. Okay, so what do we have? We have oops, okay, I'll use my highlighter here. Okay, this is a triangle, and we will be revolving it around the y-axis using the shell method. Okay, so this means we're going around this axis, okay? All right, so as before, we will set this up. We have 2, alpha, window, number 4. Now, obviously, either direction we go, our interval is 0 to 4. Yes, it is coincidental, but it works. And you can graph what they have to, prove it to yourself that, hey, this is what I'm doing here. All right, so 0 up to 4. All right, now, remember, y equals x for our purposes. So what do we have? X, parentheses, 4 minus the x, close a parentheses, go over, put in the x, press enter, I mean. Okay, so remember, we left out pi because this is in terms of pi. And you probably already see that B is the option we want. But if you're not sure about this is what I need you to do. I need you to go to alpha window, see number 3, press 3, and push enter. Okay, that's not going to give us what we need. So let's do it again. And there you go. Okay. It kind of was like, hey, you need to put me in fraction form before I'll give you a mixed number. It is what it is. Okay. All right. Now, let's keep going here. Number 4. Define R is a region bounded above by the graph of g of y. You may be wondering about the g of y. The g of y is a gift. That means you don't have to alter the form, okay? And I have taken some tests, several tests where you have to do that. Okay, if this was g of x, you would have to put it in g of y, okay? All right, but there it's a gift because we're going about the y-axis, okay? All right. So, now what do we need to do? Well, first off, we know that the form is 2 pi, and I'm going to write it out because this is what they're saying. If the shell method is used, which equation can be used to find the volume of the solid of revolution formed by revolving R around the y-axis? Okay, we're using the shell method, and the shell method is 2 pi. And they give us what we're revolving every single one of those, as you see, sorry, I'll just get rid of that. They're all 0 to 2. So obviously that's part of the answer, whatever. There you go. Okay, then we know that we're going to need another x, okay, and then the 2x minus x squared, okay, and then dx, right? Okay, if you look at what we need, because we're going around the y-axis and we're using the shell method, everything is in terms of the x. We don't have to have it in terms of y. Remember, that would have been if we went around the x-axis. In the shell method, everything is kind of topsy-turvy. Okay, now that we have that, you should already know which one we need. Okay? Obviously, A is out. B, this doesn't make sense. C and D are left. There's just one big difference. Distribution of this x. Okay, this would mean that we need 2x squared minus x to the third, and that would be option D. Okay, all right, this is the last question in this video. Wanted to thank you guys for liking and sharing us. You've been phenomenal. Thank you so much. Keep it up. And subscribing. Subscriptions are going up. That's great. That's encouraging me to move all these videos on and remake several of them to help you out. Happy testing, guys.